So here we go. Yay! Our intent for this incredible beginning to 2021 is I believe everything is energy, and then extraordinary energy that we get to give and share and host and create going forward. Beautiful Greg has done years and years worth of marketing and research and years of cultivating himself to be able to put messages out into the world. And this year at the end, as we were tuning in, what is the most necessary thing in the world? What's the most necessary thing that we could create and generate? And so this master cleanse is part mind, part body, part spirit. We're so excited about what this gets to do for each individual, as well as for the community and the collective. When two of like mind, this is what I learned in metaphysics, when two of like mind get together, what they're holding in place, they create together. And Greg, being of like mind, have generated this extraordinary gift of giving you a hard first 2 weeks. If you get the first 2 weeks of 2021 or any year or any time you're starting a project, and I see our world as starting a collective project, if you give yourself the hardest challenges and comfort, community in there, you can really create something beyond what you could have created alone, what the planets and what the earth and what God and source want for you. Baby, what do you want to share? Right? And I wonder if more people are going to join us here as they're coming in. Thank you for hosting that.
No problem, no problem. Yeah, as they join, we will let them in. Yeah, I think you're right. That's why it's happening now, because I wanted to start the year with, shedding some weight for one, because of course the holidays and the pandemic pounds, but also, getting clear on intentions, getting clear on visions for 2021, being still and receiving whatever those visions are, because I am also going to be in a meditation challenge the next 10 days. I'm going to be meditating 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening as part of this experience. And I want to be able to sit still, cleanse my body, sit still, and hear what God has, hear what God's ideas are for my 2021.
What God's ideas are for your 2021. Baby, you've done this fast, like 10 plus, you've done this numerous times.
Yep.
And the last time was really, really significant. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
I don't know if it was any more significant than the other times. I guess it was just at my birthday. Maybe I turned 51. It was at my birthday. So
it was at your birthday, right?
I don't think I've ever done it as a birthday gift to myself before, but it was kind of the same thing. It was the spring, and we had done just not a whole lot, so I had gained a little extra weight also. But we have been doing this. I was thinking today, I was like, we did this Master Cleanse for the first time together back in 2004, before we were even married, before we had kids. That was the very first time we did this together. We both did it the full 10 days. And so, we've had a long history with this experience, and it just, now it's transforming into this new experience where I haven't done it in a handful of years. And I knew that if I just put the word out and said, okay, I'm gonna lead the challenge myself, that's gonna put my butt in the hot seat, and I'm gonna make this thing happen, which is what it did. That's what it did back in June. I did the full 10 days and felt great. And I'm looking forward to the full 10 days again. Even though I know it's challenging and there's a lot going on, I am 100% confident I will do this with shining colors and move on to the whatever the next activity is here in January.
Whatever that next, and it's day by day. We've got this incredible journey that we're taking the
Yeah.
group on day by day. And the beginning of this is a lot of fun. And what do I mean by it's a lot of fun? The beginning part is truly learning how to mentor yourself. In the first few days, how to make sure that you're successful, whether you're doing this master cleanse or whatever else you're choosing to do and participate in. It's so, so valuable to really, really experience what that opens for you, what that brings forward for you. And so I love that in our family, the next day starts the night before. And so Monday, 10 a.m. for us is already existing in the actions that we're taking now to allow for everything and everyone that we are participating with and serving with and just with. Baby, what else do you want to add into that?
I want to add that, it is a very difficult challenge, the master cleanses, for those who have not done it before, because there's no food for 10 days. I understand that it's very difficult, especially the first 3 or 4 days. I even read this when I was doing a little bit of research this latest time. It's like everyone's, a few people said, you just have to get past those first few days. And once you get to day 4 or 5, it's pretty smooth sailing towards the end, in my opinion, also. And so, really being fortified, really being committed, really doing what you have to do for yourself to, if this is what you truly want to do, be, in connection, have your, your accountability buddy, whatever that is, so you can get through those first couple days, because you just have to get through those first few days. Of course, the body will be, hungry and it'll be uncomfortable, but truly it is all comes down to the mind. If you have the mindset to move through those first few days, you will get past that uncomfortable stage with the body. And once you get to day 4 or 5, you're going to be like, pretty much smooth sailing from there, I would say.
Smooth sailing. And as I love saying this, like as a scientist,
Scientist,
someone,
okay, yes, a scientist,
right,
yes. Tell us what you think.
as a medical doctor, someone who's gone in the field, as someone that has experienced the miraculous, but and that's the reverend part of me, right? Really, really created those miracles and created that extraordinary gift that comes from being connected to God, to source, to love. I know that our bodies can get heavy. And I know that our spirits can be weighed down when we haven't connected with our group in the physical world in a long time. I want to say that another way. One of the gifts of doing something like this, of participating in group energy, is spirit comes in and makes everything that's heavy and hard to do a little bit lighter, because your community is carrying it with you. I love the term murmuration, and they found murmuration with humans as well. What's murmuration? Murmuration is when you see these beautiful birds cascading and flying, and when they follow the flight pattern, they make these exquisite, extraordinary sacred geometry shapes or sequences. When they watch fish in the ocean do it, how do they do that? Well, their energy, their body is connected to 6 or 7 fish, 6 or 7 birds around them. This is what the monks in ancient philosophy and what we're now seeing in science and quantum physics, the work of Lynn McTaggart. You turn out to be flying and coursing through life with 6 or 7 people around you, up to 8 people. 8 is a magic number for what it doesn't matter on the level of consciousness those 8 are. Well, you could be at any level of vibration or frequency, but 8 people having an experience together, it starts generating in the imagination, in the unseen world, in the coming from the immaterial world into the material world. this is what's incredible about humans. We can have an idea, and that idea turn into physical matter in just a few minutes. There's a difference between a bird or a fish being able to do that. Humans can do that because we swim, we fly, we flow in this incredible murmuration. How does the murmuration, how does that happen within humans? We're now learning, we've now learned that it's through the DNA, through the genetics, through our feelings and our emotions. If we were sitting and listening to a beautiful piece of music together, it's so incredible, that piece of music that we listen to and feel and bring forward together, we'd all have the same emotions. A Yale study found so beautifully that if the producer of the music was sad, that transferred into, they all had the same emotion, energy and motion. Humans are doing this. You are doing this all the time by doing a master cleanse, by starting off 2020 with the hardest version of yourself, starting it off that way. You really get to set yourself up for success in the invisible world, being made visible through matter. So the universe hates a vacuum. When you empty yourself of all the nutrients that may not be serving you, that you've been carrying, right? You're going to empty yourself, and you're going to do it with a group of people. It's part, even if you make it just for the first day and the last day, and you may only do a modified version, you're now riding the wave with the intention of the group, the flight pattern or the flight plan or the fish plan, the path that we're taking that way, murmuration, the importance of letting yourself purposefully choose the energy you're going to partner with. Baby, what do you want to share?
That is so beautiful. That is definitely the kind of the essence of group energy, is you build that, you sync together like that. And if you're all committed in that same journey, it makes it easier for the individuals because the group is kind of guiding the experience and inspiring you forward. You're inspiring others, others are inspiring you. And so that's a big part of why we're doing this as a group experience, is to capture that group energy and be inspirations for each other.
Inspirations for each other, such an incredible thing, baby. So I'd love for you to share. So I love Stanley Burroughs, the founder. The founder founded it in 1941. Would you share what? And Noreen says hi. BRB. BRB means be right back. Would you share the biggest part of what you're feeling this is going to do for you? And I'm going to ask everyone that wants to share to be able to share that as well.
Which I think is a good idea to, it is a journey. It's a very challenging one. So I think the more you can be out there with your intentions and get the support of the group, you're going to have a better experience. But for me, because I have done this, I want to say 9 times now. This will be the 10th time. And so, and every time it always ends the same way. I feel freaking fantastic. It is such an amazing feeling. The way you physically feel when your cells are cleansed, when your colon is cleansed, when your body is cleansed, that's the time to meditate. Because when I go into meditation, then I am like, my light is not blocked. There is no arresting my light. My light is like whoosh, out there. And so I know that feeling, so I can anchor into that, and that pulls me forward into that. It's like that omega point. It's so powerful. It draws me to it. And I know that feeling so well that as soon as I anchor into that, it pulls me right towards it. And so just know that. And then, I don't know if I noticed it before, but I noticed it when we did it back in June. My skin looked great. I was like, I mean, it literally just like everything gets flushed from your system. You're drinking plenty of water, and you're giving your digestive tract a break. It's such a positive experience that, and I know that, so it's like, it's easier for me to do that. So if you haven't done it before, I don't know if you can live vicariously through what I'm saying now, but I'll just tell you for sure, when you get to the side, not only do you feel physically great, but when you get there, it's like, wow, I did that. It's almost like climbing a mountain or doing something extraordinary. You get to the other end, you're like, oh my God, I did it. It was just like, it's an amazing experience to go without food for 10 days. It's an amazing experience. And I highly encourage anyone who wants to commit at that level to really jump in and do that.
And so I am so excited. Baby, can you help me unmute anyone that might want to share my reason for doing this, right? The question that is being asked is your reason for doing this. Mine is to powerfully support Greg on this journey that we're on. I'm going to weigh myself. I say that laughingly, but as someone who had an eating disorder and perfectionism, and even the first time we did the cleanse, I think I was 114 pounds on the scale, and my body dysmorphia had me fasting to be tiny. It was part of my anxiety disorders and perfectionism back in 2003. It's incredible what presence can do for you, and it's incredible what therapy cannot do for you, right? What can therapy not do for you? Therapy cannot do what a challenge like this can do. And in the process of being on that cleanse that first time, I met with and felt parts of myself that needed to be given a voice. And so a deep healing came in as doing the cleanse. And I don't know if it's not vanity. I don't know. I don't even have the words to say. I've never showed my weight in a public way before. And this is, it's not like I'm a person that cleans the house before the maid comes over, because I think it's considerate to have a clean house when anyone comes over. And so I will clean it for the maid, and then she gets to clean it she's really lovely on the next level of that. Same thing, like if I'm going to cook a meal, I'm going to give you the best portion of it, because that's my desire for you to experience it. So the reason that I'm saying that is I don't understand the fear of showing authentically the best parts. And I think it's a gift to go stand on a scale and say, look, this is my weight. And to measure myself and whatever that measurement is, to say, if I can do this, if I can show this, if I can, so can you. So my reason for this is to really empower Greg, empower the community, and to peel off more layers of my own personal mask, perfectionism, ways that I mask my unworthiness, to really, really launch that next layer forward. Safa, do you want to share? Because you're on with us here. Yay.
That was so lovely, what you were just saying. I think, I think everyone has a little of all of that, and getting rid of the shame is definitely a process, and it's a long journey. But the reason why I got your text message, and then I logged in and was reading that, and ironically enough, not even 2 minutes. So in the morning, I'll have my cup of coffee and I'll read all my email, and I have all these inspirational emails and different programs. And there was one that I've subscribed to about weight loss and eating healthy and whatnot. And I was looking at that, and I was actually making a list of asking myself why, what are the reasons, or ways to motivate myself to exercise. That was one of my struggle. And a few minutes later, you text me, and I'm just like, okay, is the universe trying to tell me something? So I thought that was pretty funny. And I said, you know what? That's a sign. I'm going to commit to this. And when you said I felt amazing, I just felt so light, like the light was just emanating throughout all my cells. I've never felt that, and I want to feel that. I've struggled with adrenal fatigue, chronic fatigue for so long. I don't know how that feels like.
So I heard you say, and your volume went down a little bit, and it might be the
Call. Yeah, I got an incoming call.
okay, an incoming call. So I want to summarize that, which is so beautiful, that the universe sent you messages that this might be it for you. It came in succession in a way that you could really, really trust it. And then the other part was hearing that it felt amazing. And Greg felt amazing, that we feel, oh my gosh, so lit up, the rainbow inside the body. And Stanley Burroughs really helped share. Stanley shared that the founder in 1941 shared, it can be the cure to all diseases. That was the promise of the cleanse. And over the years, those that have been collecting data have found, yes, those that struggled through, went through this, reversed adrenal fatigue, turned the pancreas and the insulin and all of the responses. And we'll get into each of the components every day of why it works and what happens the first day, what happens to your body, what happens the second day as you're fasting, what organs, what parts of you come online. And if we manage to have enough time, or probably in the VIP portion that we develop, we'll go in and we'll help erase years and years of genetic programming, because your DNA, when you're no longer eating and getting food, and there's a consistent way that nourishment is coming in, your body trusts that after a few days and starts using and rebuilding and double checking the different components within your body. So Stanley Burroughs, we can't make any claims, right? But Stanley Burroughs in 1940, this was his method, and there is so much evidence for reversing all sorts of diseases. And we also really recommend that you connect with your, if you're doing this, you do this with the group, and you're staying connected with your own healthcare provider that runs your numbers and runs your body as well. And I saw Noreen jumped on. Safa, I want you to do this for your daughter. I want your daughter to have a great great grandma to her kids. I want for you to look back at this time and say, oh my gosh, I didn't know or think I could do something like this. And now, wow, I've got this in my tool belt. And anytime I need to really be present for her, oh my gosh, you will know what it feels like to be light and alive in all of your cells, and to call upon that in the moment to bring whatever you want forward.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely feel that I just need a reset. I did. It came in the perfect timing. So good job, Greg.
Yeah.
I'm on board with you. Let's do this. Let's
Yeah.
start this year with a fresh start. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Noreen, I love that you're here. Do you want to share?
I just got on, so I only have somewhat of an idea of what this meeting is about. So you might want to ask me questions to get me kind of like
Sure, we're so glad that you're here. This is the launch party for the Master Cleanse. And Greg and I always start, our family starts our tomorrow the night before. And so we start it before, usually we honor the day at sunset, we give gratitude. And then as nightfall comes in, we start using our bodies and our tools and everything around us for really getting into rest and getting into creating the next day. And so this is our celebration launch party for the 10-day Master Cleanse. The Master Cleanse is, baby, do you want to take it from there for a minute, and then I'll come back and we'll ask the question?
Well, Noreen, are you familiar with the Master Cleanse? Have you heard of it before?
There's so many cleanses, and I mean, the one that you're referring to, maybe not. I mean, it's possible, that, are you talking about the one that you guys have on your website, or?
That's right. The lemonade diet is also known as, it's very basic, it's maple syrup and fresh lemons, if you can do that, and then cayenne pepper. And it's just a drink that you mix. Fresh is best, but if you can't pull it off fresh all day long, you need to make a bigger batch, you can do that. But you do that for 10 days, and it's a liquid fast, so you're a liquid detox. So you really, truly allow we were just saying earlier, your digestive tract to relax, your colon to flush itself out, and then your cells to cleanse themselves. It's a very powerful experience.
Well, the irony is that I do lemon water in the morning. Not every morning, I should. And I've been adding a lot of cayenne to everything I eat and drink lately. So it's kind of ironic we're talking about the Master Cleanse incorporates things I'm already sort of doing in a certain kind of way. So I'm really onto this energy that you're talking about. Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. Onto the energy that we're talking about. So part of the intention of the Master Cleanse for 10 days is to give yourself a kick in the pants, so to speak, a caboose, engine energy for 2021 to really bring in part on the physical level. As when I was in college, in university, I took 18 hours worth of classes. I had 3 jobs. I was helping put me, my younger sister at times. And I went to my professors and to my, and they said, if you get the first 2 weeks right, there isn't anything that you can't accomplish the rest of the time within university. And so what was amazing is I've implemented that on the years that we did really, really well, and we expanded the first 2 weeks. And for me, the push was always all the way up to the Chinese New Year. And a celebration of, so the January 1st, the Western world's New Year celebration, all the way to the time of the Eastern celebration. I want to do as much as possible. And so this time, it falls into planetary alignment, falls into, oh my gosh, this energy of life, this new start, this new year. We can really develop the best version of you, the best version of me, the best version of each of us, to generate what can only come through you, of a deep knowing that each one of us is so unique. No one else can do what you're here to do, and no one else can connect to source or to love. And what's stopping you? What's blocking you? What makes you not be able to do everything that you're here to do? Part mind, part body, part spiritual congestion.
Sure.
Your body can be congested with all the foods and all of the ways that your ancestors digested. None of it your fault, right? The DNA is still in there. None of it your fault. And so beautifully to really get present to, oh my gosh, but you can empty your body, you can empty your spirit. How do you empty your spirit? You have to put a task that is going to challenge your spirit. Are you going to tell the truth? Are you going to weigh yourself? Are you going to I do a modified version, right? I have coffee. I continue to have all of my clients and all of the beautiful people, and I still continue to be in service throughout. So I find I could do that with coffee, that modified version. And I'm doing this because Greg asked and loves so deeply. This is what he wants to give forward. And then, so part mind, right? What's the mind part? The spirit part is willing, right? The body part is emptying. What's the mind part? Can you deeply listen to what's going on underneath each one of the cravings or each one of the frustrations or each one of the wants? And
Right.
so, right? So powerful. So Noreen, why do you want to participate? Why do you want to create a 10-day master cleanse, be in a group energy, and to step on this journey?
Oh, I don't know. I just this appealed to me. I've been on a couple of Zooms with you in the past, and you know, I don't know. It just kind of it was interesting to me, what people are doing, and something resonates. I guess it's interesting to me. It resonates, in its own way. So because I think I've been doing some of these already, kind of right. So it's just time to kind of consolidate it, right?
Awesome. To consolidate it, you've been doing it already, and now it's intentional to
More,
bring it forward. Yeah, more intentional to bring it forward. How awesome. And I know Somalia Austin, darling, are you here present with us? So this part, there's going to be part movement, part action, part of some extraordinary journaling throughout the week. Of course, there's the hour that we'll have on Facebook, and it's Optimal Health Mastery. And then there'll be movement, dance, all of that we incorporate into each of the processes with each person coming in. The people that have registered, the people that are part of this, we're so excited to share all of that on Facebook. It'll be Greg and myself tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And tomorrow what we're launching into is really being able to mentor yourself. Greg, is there anything you want to share about tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow, again, it's just harnessing the energy. Tomorrow, usually, in my experience, the first day is you feel okay. And so that is an easier one to navigate. It's typically day 2 or day 3 where you feel low energy and there's all the crazy thoughts that this is never going to work. You're never going to be able to do this. I mean, that's my experience. I go through that. And so all the second guessing it, is this really the right time? Is this, anything your mind can think of to like throw you off track, it's going to come up with. So, but that's really on day 2 and 3 in my experience. So tomorrow should be okay. But I love what you said earlier. It's like, it is really, there's many things that, because we're setting a container of 10 days to transform ourselves. This is a component that is to do with the body and detoxing the body, flushing the body, shedding some weight. But there's also, what else can you do to support that? Can you go walking every day? Which is what, we have dogs, so we walk every day. But what can you do to move the energy in your body aside from just the Master Cleanse itself? And how can you set that container so that it can advance who you are? Well, and you might not make it through the whole Master Cleanse, but you can still set that 10-day container to transform yourself in many ways. Like you say, we can incorporate journaling. I'm going to incorporate meditation. I thought about doing every day. I want to do the swishing, the what is it called again?
Oil pulling. So we
oil
do
pulling. Yeah, you can
Oil
incorporate
pulling.
oil pulling. Yeah,
That's a
So-
really good idea, Greg. I didn't
Yeah.
think of that because it's pulling toxins. Oh yeah.
That's right. That's pulling toxins too. So again, and the coconut oil is right there in the kitchen. I know about this. Why don't I walk in there and do this every day? I just don't. So how can I create a container of things that resonate with me that will push me forward through this experience and I can harness the greatest benefit of all these things that I know about. Make this a super intentional space for my transformation, and hopefully that, like, it, you know, inspires others, and others pick up on that, and then I'll be inspired by other people as they're going through it. So, you know, that's kind of how I see it, is that, you know, because other people have tried to do the Master Cleanse and they drop out, then that's it. They just kind of leave the whole thing. It's like, you don't have to leave the whole thing. You set a container for 10 days. You set your intention to transform yourself for 10 days. What else can you incorporate in that you can shift the way your life is going, so you can be a different person on the other end when those 10 days are over?
When those 10 days are over, and it's really exciting to really, it's beyond your imagination is what I love to say. That oil pulling, Tritok, all of these techniques and learnings within Miracle Makers Academy and within my clients and with people, with Greg, it's been a journey to get him to oil pull.
Yeah, I know.
It's been a journey to get the mind. And what happens, what's so beautiful is we set the container, we set the intention, we love as intensely as possible. We generate so beautifully the might within ourselves to be able to give, to serve, to love, to generate, to make seen the invisible world. And how do you do that? How do you build the possibility of giving beyond yourself? And so it's so beautiful, Greg, such a gift. The oil pulling, will have every day some techniques. For those jumping into the VIP experience with us, we'll have even more. We're developing an $11,000 program, and I won't share all of that here with you, but you'll get to participate, because we feed everyone. That's our goal. For years, from the time Greg and I met, 2003, we've had an open door policy, and people have stayed with us. We've had, oh my gosh, I know the time that we closed our doors was when a nurse had our kids in our home. One of the nurses that had she'd gone on an ayahuasca journey and went down a very strange path, and she wound up homeless. And her family, we found her, we brought her home to our home. Again, someone who had just been in personal development, had coached with me a couple times, and she had a psychotic attack in our beautiful home, and our kids got afraid. That's when we closed our doors. And this beautiful man, right, opened the doors to our family. We've opened the doors in so many ways to be in service, always a yes. And when the kids got afraid, we closed the doors. And when that door closing happened, it opened us up to be able to serve more people. We feed everyone. For years, 2003, 40 plus people a week. We take care of, and we love so generously from our hearts, from our free will. It's not like, hey, look at me. We don't talk about it until things like this come up. And what are things like this? The reason I share this story is, oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. God, source, love sent Greg, sent Miracle Makers, sent all of these people, all of these signs, all of these symbols, all of this ways that you can jump into, giving the most that you can possibly give from your own joy forward. And it's so awesome to have that possibility. Greg, is there anything you want to share around how opening doors is fantastic? This Master Cleanse, though, is about closing doors. It's about closing yourself into taking care of yourself, knowing exactly what you need and what you want and what makes you, uniquely you. Greg, anything you want to add to that, baby?
Yes, well, it's actually very appropriate time, because what would be recommended is that you do slow your life down, and that if you're a little tired in the afternoon, take a nap. And if you were doing this, in a your normal lifestyle, that it would be suggested to try and kind of slow it down a bit. So luckily, we're being asked to slow down a bit already because of other circumstances. So it's really kind of a opportune time to partake in this, but really be mindful of that. Your body is cleansing itself. Your body is going to go through a massive detox, and more rest is a good thing. Slowing down a little bit is a good thing. Living your crazy hectic life, if that's what you're doing right now, maybe it's time to like pull yourself in, like collect yourself. I love it when Sarah says it. It's like it's time to collect yourself. Bring in the pieces that have floated away. Collect your energy. Bring in your attention. Bring in your awareness, and bring it to your body. It's our attention can get so scattered so quickly with all the distractions these days. How can you turn your attention now towards yourself and use the healing power of your attention to assist in the rebuilding, the renewing of your body?
The rebuilding and the renewing of your body. Oh my gosh. I know we're going to have a little, I found some music on YouTube that is, what's it called? License free, right? We don't, and baby, I love it when you share your music, right, Greg? It's when you share your music. I love your songs and I wonder if we could bring in, what is that song that you have? Is the one around, Blue-Eyed Baby, got it good.
Okay.
Is that available on YouTube? Is that available for us to use? Because it's your music.
Okay. I hadn't really considered that a song to support our cleansing, but
the reason I want to support our cleansing with this one is
got it good, yeah.
with got it good. I mean, how beautiful is it to really got it good with yourself, right? You're closing yourself so that you can really be in a detox and a cleansing process with yourself. And then to have, that's an upbeat song of yours, right?
Yes, it is.
It's upbeat, and it really gives this like the story behind that song, baby. Would you share that?
Is there a story behind it? I don't think so, really. Just me and Matt Walsh were trying to write a country song that would be #1 on the radio. It's pretty much the gist of it.
Right. You and Matt Walsh writing this incredible song. And what I heard you say later, and it might be about another song, correct me if this is, you said something to the effect of, I didn't know it at the time, but that was my visioning into the future of what I wanted to create in a relationship. And now here I am with got it good, like that you created the vision. Also with the song, the
gift is more so that way. Yeah.
Was it the song, The Gift?
Yeah, The Gift. Yeah.
That's more. That was the story that went with the song Gift. I think it'd be great to imagine The Gift is a beautiful song as well. It's not as upbeat, but could you share about The Gift, and maybe that'll be the theme song for this cleanse?
Alrighty. The Gift was, well, I don't know if we actually wrote it with that intention, but after it was written and it became, recorded it, it as I mentioned before in sharing it at talks, it's like it became like in the story of Cinderella, she loses the shoe, and then the prince finds the shoe, and he searches everywhere to find the foot that fits the shoe. Well, it was my in a sense, the Cinderella story. I had the song, but I just needed the right girl that fit the song, and that happened to be you, my love.
It happened to me, and I love that story, because we're all writing songs, we're all writing music, we're all writing the vision for me in medical school, I'd put on Post-it notes as I was studying. My why for studying and passing and following all of these extreme things was to eventually give myself a family. Of course, in the course of going through medical school and testing and getting brokenhearted and committing to being the Mother Teresa of medicine and sensitivity and anxiety, it's like, I'm never getting married. I'm going to be the Mother Teresa of medicine. But I still had all of the wishes and all of that I'd put on paper. This is before the law of attraction, or this is before any of the movies came out. It was what I learned from my grandmothers, and how to create what you wanted. And there it was on paper. When I cleaned out my parents' home, my version of that were these incredible note cards. And it's so beautiful. In that time frame, it took a number of years for me to realize my childhood dream of being married, having kids, being in service. When I was a kid, I wanted 12 kids. By the time we had 2, we knew, wow, we're going to grow our family into miracle makers, or grow our family in another way. Long story short, Greg wrote a story, a song that became his reality. I wrote note cards and studied. I used my mind and my heart and my drive. And even when I forgot what I wanted, the universe still had it. Greg, even after he wrote that song, said, I'm never getting married. The woman doesn't exist that I would marry. Why is all of that important? We're starting a master cleanse. The energy that you're not using to digest food, the energy that you're using to cleanse out your body, the energy that you're using will bring up ideas and will bring up ways that you can celebrate going forward, and that become the wind beneath your wings to become the next best version of yourself. I didn't know when I did the Master Cleanse the first time that I would wind up pregnant, right? It was easy for me with an eating disorder, body dysmorphia, to starve myself. But at the end of that Master Cleanse pregnancy test, I'm pregnant. And now I've got the tools of stopping my mind from craving food. Now I've got the tools after the Master Cleanse to stop my mind from not eating food, of doing what was right for the baby or what was right for the family. And so, wow, right? You're going to get creative during this. You're going to generate legions of energy. You're going to heal parts of yourself, so your daughter and your son and their children and your community around you, the souls that you're tethered to, get to benefit from you having more tools. Baby, anything you want to say around that? You muted yourself, baby.
Well, again, I'm going back to. Oh.
No, you're not muted. I'm sorry.
No,
It just didn't pick up your sound.
Yeah. Just going back to the things you can do, and what came to me was doing the artist's way and doing morning pages. Like, there's so many things we can bring into this experience. You know, the Master Cleanse is part of it, but really we're creating a container for 10 days to, you know, renew ourselves on all levels as we enter into this, as we shed 2020 and all of that stuff that will happen then, as we enter into this new year, into this new energy, into this new beginnings. How can we renew ourselves on all levels so that we can, you know, step into all the goodness that's going to be coming our way this year.
Stepping into all the goodness. And I love that Dr. Audrey is here. Welcome, darling. It's so, my meeting just before this one, we talked about Mount Shasta, and we shared, and I love that you were part of that you did the one day and you gave yourself the retreat. And you know what part we were talking about was the chipmunk.
Oh,
Where, how else could you ever explain that story? Thank God we went through a group together to say, so the people at the top of the mountain buried this incredible chipmunk. Dr. Audrey and I did a process, perfect process. We connected in so deeply with what was going to happen in a few moments. Tea, coffee at the foothills of Mount Shasta, the root chakra of the world. And then within the 24 hours, the universe gave us a signal of this living, laughing chipmunk. It was incredible. A very personal story to Dr. Audrey of the healing that was representing and bringing forward. The point that I want to make with that is group energy. Group energy is amazing. When you start experiencing things, the magic, that. And Dr. Audrey, have you done the Master Cleanse with us the last time we did it? Uh-oh. Are you hearing us?
no.
Oh, you're not hearing us. Okay.
Hang on. I can't hear you.
Okay.
I can't hear you.
So we will, it might be your reception, because I think you can hear me, Greg, right? Everyone else can hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. And so Dr. Audrey, it's going to be, I know you can't hear me.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I think you might have to, you don't have good reception. I'm sorry, I unmuted. Yep, there you go.
You're back. You're back.
Okay.
You're back.
Deep breaths in. Is there a reason that you want to do the Master Cleanse?
Oh, well, I got out of the hospital on Labor Day, and I was 122 pounds. And this morning I was 144 pounds. So, I've been eating quite a bit since I got out of the hospital, and there was a very large part of me, because I had is there an audience? Are there other people here? I had 2 surgeries this year, and so when I got out of
Dr.
the
Audrey, this is being recorded, and there are other people here.
Okay, thank you. In any event, I had a brief period when I got out of the hospital of not caring if I gained weight. Like sort of I had survived that, and it didn't really matter if I was my goal weight, because I was 67 years old, and if I gained 10 or 15 pounds, it wouldn't matter. Well, now I've gained 22 pounds, and nothing fits me. And that's quite distressing, because I don't want to go out and buy new clothes. And I love the idea of cleansing, a master cleanse, a detox, to start the year off. I think it's an excellent idea. I applaud you coming up with that idea. And I wanted to ask you, I'm sitting in front of a Smart and Final to go buy maple syrup and cayenne pepper. And I'm not sure if my body will tolerate that much sugar without any other food to absorb the sugar. Do you have any medical tips on that?
A great question, and we are going to cover that tomorrow quite extensively. And the part that's really, really important is each person doing a modified version for themselves. If you've had any kind of surgery or illness, it's really important. And if you take medication, it's really, really important for you to be available to continue taking the meds that you take, to have small amounts of food for yourself. And so, Dr. Audrey, I know that you work with me privately as well as out here, so I can give you a very specific answer. And I know your body well. For you, you've got to have a protein source, especially with the meds that you take. And so, and still the low sodium, the low salt is still important for you at this point in your life, which I know you know. And so lemons, the sugar source for you might be better to have honey for you than honey. Okay, perfect. And so fresh organic lemons, honey, cayenne pepper to heat up the body and to rinse the mucus, but and then every night you do a tea of sorts or peppermint teas in between to help cleanse the colon all the way through.
Okay.
As well. So tonight, any kind of tea that you have at home, you begin with that and you give yourself that. And then you're going to make yourself the drink as often as you possibly can. I want to say that another way. Dr. Audrey, you can have nuts. You can have, and this is coming from your body, what's it called? Papyrus. Not papyrus, papaya. Papaya is something that you can have. Fruit
papaya?
The fruit papaya.
Okay. I like that.
And that's to help you cleanse, and it's about breaking up all of the remnants in your digestive tract from the various surgeries this year.
Got it. Okay, thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
And since you're at the store, it's recommended to get Smooth Move tea for the evening.
Yes, Smooth Move.
Yeah.
Looks like this.
It's like an herbal laxative. Yeah, Smooth Move. There it is right there. Yep, yep.
And Dr. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you take that at night.
That's right. You take that at night. Yep.
Okay.
You take that at night. And this part is not recommended for you. This is just for other people that are on the call and part of this process. In the morning, you do about a quart of warm water with salt in it. And a quart of, it's just such a beautiful, you would just do a quart of warm water, Dr. Audrey? No salt.
That's what I'll do.
Yeah, no salt, but everyone else would put, until you can taste the salt with your tongue. It's a high component, but it washes your entire system to be able to purge it into your digestive tract. So in the evening, you do Smooth Moves. Then first thing when you wake up in the morning is you have a quart or more of salt water. And the ideal portions are like the ocean salt water. So it's big amounts of, we do pink Himalayan salt in ours, and we drink it, I drink it like a shot, very fast, and I stay close to the bathroom for the rest of the morning. And it helps pull out, just like osmosis, which I love. I love being a scientist. I love being a nerd. I love, I'm just so grateful that, Greg, you have built a way in which to really serve in the greatest good that can come through. We've always helped people for free our whole lives. I have anyway. And at some point when God, I love the people that I work with. And I'm so inspired. And so we get to feed all, we get to give to all, and then truly get to choose the ones God is saying, this is the person to work with next. This is the person to work with next. I love that I get to do that. And I love the support that Greg has created for me and for us to be stable enough to give at that level. Baby, what would you add to that?
Well, like I said earlier, I am actually, as I get older, I feel myself a bit more hesitant to do this. I like jumped into it when I was in my 20s. I was like, woohoo, I can do this. In my 30s, no problem. But as I get older, I feel more hesitant to be uncomfortable. And so I need the group. I need I'm going to do this to a bunch of people and you can hold me accountable to it. And so I need this experience myself to make sure that I do this. When I was younger, I was like, oh, when I get older, I'll probably slow down, my gain a little weight, but I'll always have the Master Cleanse. I'll always be able to shed it whenever I get, if I feel that way. And then sure enough, it was like this last year, I was like the heaviest I've ever been. And I was like in March, in April, yeah, June. It was because we did it in June. It was like, oh my God, I got to do the Master Cleanse. I just have to do it. That was my promise to myself earlier. If I ever had needed to do it, I could do the Master Cleanse and, get back to a more healthy weight. And I just turned 50. So here we go. I'm at that age now. I'm 50. So I'm going to start doing this a couple times a year, most likely until I find some other way to keep myself in a healthy, like body, whatever that BMI index, whatever that might be. Because I want to be healthy.
It's so
I want to
funny
be around for many years and enjoy a very active life. And so this is one of my strategies to help me navigate that challenge.
That's so beautiful, baby. Body mass index. I chased Greg for a number of years. I'm like, you got to get your body mass index to. Anyway, it's so funny. It's just so funny. So I love that you're saying that. Dr. Audrey, why do you want to do this cleanse?
Gosh, I was thinking about it. You asked me that earlier, and I thought I had answered it. I mean, I gained 22 pounds, so I want to cleanse to get rid of that weight. That's the primary reason, to get rid of the extra weight. And I know that this particular method, I've known about the Master Cleanse for many, many years, and I never did it because of the maple syrup deal. But I bought honey today. So I'm going to get maple syrup. So if I don't feel good, then I'll just switch to honey. But I'm going to give it a shot. And I just like the idea of a cleanse, like a complete detox of all of the crap that I've put in myself. And then, I was listening to Greg. It's funny. Oh, by the way, I watched Greg's video on what it is we have to do. That was very cute. And it was very thorough. And he did it in June, and now he's doing it again in January, which means that he got where he wanted to go in June and then spent the next 6 months going back up. And, I don't know if you remember Jackie Gleason. He was a very famous
I love
actor.
Jackie. Yeah.
Yeah. And he loved to drink wine and he loved to eat. He was just, he had a huge appetite for everything in life. You know what I mean? Not just food and drink, but that's why he was such a marvelous performer. He had an amazing range. And he just had a huge appetite for life. That's all. And so he just decided every year, once a year, he would, go and get into shape and then spend the next year enjoying himself. And once a year, he would go back again and get into shape. Now, the problem with that is that he would really balloon up. I mean, I'm not talking 20 pounds. He would, sometimes he would gain as much as almost 100 pounds. And so he didn't live long. He didn't have a long life because that's very hard on your heart. This fast that we're going to do, Sarah, maybe you can add some, but when you fast like this, anytime you're feeling discomfort, like Greg said, he as he got older, he doesn't want to feel discomfort. I don't either. Whenever I think about going out of my comfort zone, there's a very big, a very large angel or a devil, I don't know, on my shoulder that says, no, don't go out of your comfort zone. It took you so long to get comfortable in the first place. Why would you want to leave it? And the only thing I can think of there is there's I guess a level of boredom that you want to try new things and you want to start from fresh. You want to start fresh and clean.
So
Clean sheets.
Clean sheets. And I think there was a question in there about why do you want to get out of the comfort zone, right? Why would we want to do that? Why not just do the thing that, and the thing is, you can stay comfortable. You can eat and like, everything is energy. It's really important for us to get this. The reason that I really want to emphasize the why, right? Why do you want to do it? Why is you get and you win at everything in life that you actually want to win in. Energy wise, you are a master creator. I believe in God. I believe God gave us everything, held nothing back. The same energy in an acorn, right? That energy makes for a field. And I believe because I was loved by my grandparents and loved so deeply by the earth and by God and by source, within me, there was a spark that wanted to go, wow, what's the most I can do with this love that I've been given? And I would say I got broken at some point, the near-death experiences, the estrangement from my family, the difficulties that I went through, but the spark, the service, the love, and even the near-death experience was to connect me back to God. And I do this because I want to do it. And I do this because it brings me joy. And I do this because I really enjoy this. And I enjoy today getting out of my comfort zone. For me, right, each one of us has a different thing for a comfort zone. For me to get out of my comfort zone, once on live television, I'd never gone anywhere without a bra in my life or a bikini. So on live television in studio, I went in studio no bra. The first time I did that, I used to feel protection with a bra on. That's how I felt safe. I'm bringing this up for you, Dr. Audrey, because I know you never wear bras, right?
I don't own one. I don't
You
even
don't own a bra, right? But for me, to be without a bra is out of my comfort zone. If I felt scared, I'd put extra bras on, right? That was part of, but I wanted to get out of my comfort zone because I wanted to be able to serve more. And I wanted to be in a world that I could exist in, that I wasn't uncomfortable in my own skin no matter what. Let me say that another way. I wanted to be comfortable in my own skin. And so I went on and I told everyone, look, I have no bra on. I am uncomfortable as shit. This is not comfortable for me. And then I went on without makeup. And for me, getting out of my comfort zone is going to be on a scale tomorrow, showing, you know, sort of the a concrete number, a measurement of something for myself. Again, this used to be a way that I would punish myself or hurt myself or reward myself, is to see me on the scale. Never would I ever want to share my numbers out with the world, or the thought processes that go within me. But again, this comes from love. I want each person. I have an incredible, beautiful man here who will do whatever it is that I want. I mean, truly. And he's got a relationship with someone that really wants the best for him, no matter what, and is ever cultivating the next layer of opportunities for him. Right? It's the next layer of being able to fuel the respect and his genius. What do all men want, right? The cheerleader, someone that actually does that. And men are great. They just need to be able to get intimate and know a schedule for happiness. he is literally Mr. Happy as Humanly Possible. He titled his book that. He's titled his podcast. He's written, all of the songs, all of that. He came with that into the relationship. And in here, we met each of our wounded selves. And each of those wounded selves really got present to what each of us wants. We want the world to have this. We don't need to do any of this. I don't need to, Greg doesn't need to. We do this. And for me, it came from the village. I have ancient wisdom that I believe I got to pass on some of the wisdom that my grandmother taught me about medicine in the hand. I'm going to get to pass on and develop so much because someone cherished me. And together, Greg and our way of being in the world have created an organization, right? We did the nonprofit, we built the schools, we did all of that other stuff. And now we're like, this is the formula, this is the secret. And it's just about expanding that and giving that and giving that. And it doesn't matter if it's one person or 1 million people. That one seed orchard out into the world, creating you, the seed that you are, one cleanse, one breath, one moment. And so, Dr. Audrey, do you feel cherished after nearly a year with us, right? The one day private, I came out to your home and we went through that, right, meeting you right where you were. And you don't have to understand the science of what happened, but that one day, the next thing could be available. You let yourself go to Mount Shasta, right? And the processing with all of the energy there. And then the evidence on the outside matched the experiences that you let yourself get uncomfortable with on the inside. Did that make sense?
Absolutely, and I have tears in my eyes is how much sense it made. Because I'm healing, and I'm flourishing, and I'm blooming, and I've done all those things before. Sort of like I've been on diets before. But you and Greg together and your children are so warm. And it's not just me. And that's what, I give you a compliment here. There are so many people out in the world that for a living call themselves psychics. And they set up shop and they do tarot readings and palm readings and give information. And some of them charge huge amounts of money and make stuff up about cleansing. And you guys don't do that. You guys put these challenges up that are personal for you. They do great work for you, as well as all these other people. And so it's sort of like, how can I say this? There's an intimacy that you are open to and that you offer and that you allow. And not many people do that, particularly the people that call themselves psychics. They always have a limit to how much they're going to do and what they're going to do. And you're like limitless. I think one of the reasons Greg loves you and I love you is that you're constantly being open and inviting in as much as possible from the universe to help not only you and Greg and your kids, but everybody else. And, you know, I've given a lot of thought to what it is I want to do in this next chapter of my life. And I don't want to work as hard as you do. you and Greg, you know, like these challenges and sitting here on the air for an hour and a half so far, almost. Time is the most precious thing we have. It truly is. Time is the most precious thing we have. And you guys give your time to people like me. And that's the most important thing that anybody can do. You're not charging for these things. You're just, I mean, yes, you'll get something out of it, hopefully, if you get private clients, but that's okay. I don't begrudge you that. You have to make a living. But there's an overflow of what you do. You know, my mom used to tell me when she would set up for a party, she would always put more out than she was sure they were going to use. And my father would really get irritated because she was spending money that he knew was going to be thrown away. And she just had this sense that abundance, she knew about abundance, even though she never used that word. So if she had people coming over, she wanted our house to have abundance when they came in. Gives me tears. She wanted them to feel warm and safe and comfortable and be in as much abundance and luxury as she could possibly provide. And that's kind of what you do. I mean, I've been to your house and I've met a lot of your friends, and there's a warmth there that's not just for me. And so I know that it's not fake. That's really important. The cherished, you asked me how I feel about being cherished. And I haven't been cherished since I was about 3 or 4 years old. I can remember being cherished. I can remember my whole family loving me and holding me and sitting on their laps and kissing me, and family doing that. There's nobody doing that except for you guys. And I can feel it. I can feel the healing, and I can feel the cherished part if I let myself. I just have to let myself. I just have to know that you're as real as you can be and allow myself to let that light in. And without drugs or alcohol, and without overeating, and without needing a lover. It'd be nice to have one, but it's nice to not need one. So when you're cherished by other people, you don't have to be cherished by a significant other. As long as you're cherished, that's the bottom line. Doesn't matter who's doing it or how it's happening. As long as it's happening. And I think that you guys do it by giving your time and your love and your energy. And I thank you for that very much. So, yeah, I feel a lot better.
Yay.
Yay, what a journey, right? What a journey. And I think that's the part of the Master Cleanse. It's a journey. You have no idea who you're going to be on the other side of this. Cherish your body, cherish with that. And Greg, baby, what do you want to add? Because I want to make sure you share here.
Well, that's wonderful. We love to give. We are, you know, our motto is you can't outgive God, but we are sure going to try with every day we have on this planet. It's a good feeling. It's good to give. And so, and I'm going to give something else right here. I was just reading on this one site. They said to substitute molasses for maple syrup for diabetics. So that might be something you want to try too. Dr. Audrey, is
Oh.
molasses instead of honey, actually.
Okay, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Because I'm about to go in and buy something, so I'll
But
I
make
already
sure you
have-
buy 100% pure maple syrup. Don't buy, you know, like high fructose corn syrup, maple syrup. Yeah, it has to be the, you know,
Yeah,
grade A or grade B.
100%.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you're only going to use a small amount of the maple syrup. The purpose of the lemons is it provides all of the materials that check your DNA and cleanses. It acidifies. It also alkalizes. It's like the perfect component. Then the little bit of cayenne pepper helps release mucus, and the coloring as well as the nourishment within that helps break everything up and releases. You build a new relationship with pain receptors within your body after a period of time. That's the lemon and the cayenne pepper. Again, we're going to dive into this very, very deeply. Blackstrap molasses is great, especially if your family and your genetics come from an old country, because it will help provide some of the iron, some of the components. The reason maple syrup and honey is recommended is because the basic components within those can turn into any amino acids within your body. And blackstrap molasses is great for that. And again, you're only going to need a small amount. Lemon, the water, and the cayenne pepper are really huge. The sugar component is just for your brain and to keep all of those parts. Your body is going to be able to generate and make it for itself. Dr. Audrey, nuts, right? The nuts that you like to eat.
yes.
Papaya and protein source, whatever that protein source is, when you take your meds and when you take that.
Yeah, I like. Go ahead. I was just gonna say a really good protein source is egg white.
Right.
They're
egg
not
whites.
very high. Yeah, they're not
Yes.
very high in calorie, and they're pure protein.
And they're pure protein, and your body knows exactly what to do with it. So even if you left a sugar source, you can just put a tiny little dab of the honey or a tiny little dab of the maple syrup or blackstrap molasses. It's to help the osmosis process and cleansing process, but you don't need a whole lot because you're going to have the sugar within your body already and the proteins. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Baby, I'd love for you to play the gift. Do you have it?
I do have it.
Let me share, make sure that you are co-host. Oh, you are, yay. So you can share, is there a video that goes with it or is it just the song?
Well, the only place I know where to get it, I guess I could go to, I have the YouTube one, so you'll see
Yes.
do you see my screen now?
Not yet. You have to hit share screen at the bottom, the green button, and then
Ooh. Alrighty.
yay, and you check the little boxes.
Yep.
Yay.
Here we go.
If I had one wish, I'd wish that this night could last forever. You holding me tight,
Lying beside you, so warm, so close. Lost in this moment, we just can't let go.
it's wonderful, so magical. Every breath we take, the past is history, the future mystery. This moment is the gift. Every second we're together, every tender kiss, every moment with you that I could love you this much. It's beautiful, so sensual, the moonlight on your skin. The past is history, the future mystery. This moment is the gift. Every second we're together, every tender kiss, every moment with you is the gift. Whoa, it's wonderful, so magical. Every breath we take, the past is history, the future mystery. This moment is the gift. Every second we're together, every tender kiss. There may never be a night like this.
Oh, like this.
Every moment with you is the gift. The gift.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yay. That's so awesome. So awesome. I think every moment inside your body is a gift. And what if we presented, right? Dr. Audrey, I see that you unmuted yourself, and anyone here is can unmute themselves to share. Is there something that you wanted to share?
Was that to me?
Anyone can unmute themselves. I'm just making sure if someone wants to give feedback or share. Noreen, is there anything that you want to share?
I actually have a question about the cleanse. The basic components is lemon water, maple syrup or molasses, and cayenne. Those are the principal properties
So
mostly.
those are the principal
those three, yeah.
things. And baby, we have it up. I'm going to share the screen. I'll go find it. So you need basically at least 2 lemons per day minimum, 2 whole, fresh, juicy lemons. You want, it's mostly water that you're participating with, and you refresh yourself with lemon water with a little bit of the sweetener, whether the recommended Stanley Burroughs recommended maple syrup, Maple Valley actually, but the brand, in fact, that maple syrup, and it was grade, baby, it's grade B, right?
What I just read was grade A or B. It just, yeah.
The darker maple syrups, they're usually just beautiful. You look for the ingredients, it'll say it on the back. Even if the front says 100% maple syrup, you have to go back and read the back. If you're using honey, to use unheated, raw, local honey is ideal. If you're using...
Hi. Do you know where your syrups are? Like maple syrup? Oh, sorry.
It's so fun. Yay. It's so Blackstrap Molasses, if you're of ethnic, and what I mean by that is if you've had anemias or if you've had a lot of intermarrying in your family, and I put that, so the anemias, the thalassemias, the blood disorders usually come from, when they trace it back, families that intermarried, or for example, in India, the same group marries the same group. A Gujarati marries a Gujarati. anyway, they have different classes of marriages, the same village, the same group of people, and that's how the blood disorders or the anemia, specific types, come in. And so if your family moved from village to village and had marriages of different ethnicities, I looked to the Viking over there, right? Greg's family, the Vikings, moved there even within a couple generations from, Norway to the United States. They intermarried there so beautifully. So they have less of the anemias that I put in quotes with ethnic, meaning with us, that can happen. So Blackstrap Molasses.
My background is.
Go ahead.
No, my background happens to be a mix too, like Japanese, Jewish, Dutch, so whatever. I mean, I'm like, yeah, that's interesting.
Right. Do you, and the sense that I get with your body is your body has anemia. That's the reason I even brought it up, is that your body's transmitting the information to me that the blood components need to be built up. And that's one of the reasons that there's been levels of tiredness.
Well, I have Morgellons too that I didn't know I had until this year, of all things. There's another aspect to that, but whatever.
Yeah. And so it's a powerful way to reactivate the healing properties that are in there as well. And so, extraordinary levels of energy that can come in. Greg, baby, do you remember, is it in a newsletter that we put the Master Cleanse, all of the components, because we can copy it?
That was in the thank you page once people signed up on the registration page.
So, that's really important, Noreen. Are you signed up for within the Master Cleanse? Did you sign up?
I don't remember that because I see different emails and I just clicked on your Zoom. So I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to do it together right now. So so we can make sure you have this. Hold on just for a second. I'm going to hit share screen, and here we go. This is Dr. Sarah Larson. We've had the coconut oil pulling here. I don't know. We get like thousands of views, 6,000 plus on our website. And this is one of the most popular pages here. And this is where you sign up for the Master Cleanse here. And we'll put your email address in to make sure that you have everything that's supposed to come in. I love the name Noreen.
Oh, thank you.
And it's going to be different from the other. There's a different group. That's why if there's a different link or a different thing. Noreen, do you want your last name? Right.
Yes.
And what's the best email?
Do you want me to type it in the chat so you can just pull it from there?
Sure.
Okay, let me put that in. My last name is, I'll write it in here too. Okay. And then I'll give you my email is.
And then this way everyone can see Help Hand is such a beautiful last name.
Thank you. There we go.
There
That's my
we
email.
go.
Gmail.
Okay, and so here we go. So you'll see what you get when you sign up. Here we go. And Help Hand, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, and so this is the congratulations. Step one, you join the private Facebook group. So you click right there. And there's 2 questions that you fill out.
Yeah,
and
I'm
so,
on your Miracle Makers. I see that one. Is that the one you mean? Miracle Makers?
So when you click, let me put this into the chat. You can make sure that you click into here. This is the Master.
But my love, Miracle Makers is a different group. It's not that group. It's a 10-day Master Cleanse. Yeah, you have to be part of that group.
Oh.
Which this link will allow you to join that group.
I see. Okay.
So it's a different group. And the reason that we do it differently is not all miracle makers are interested in the Master Cleanse,
Yeah.
and not all Master Cleanse people are wanting to dive into. So we have over 100,000 people in the different groups in Facebook. And so that's one of the reasons we keep it separate, is 100,000 people don't want exactly the same thing.
Of course.
And so here we go. Here's the link to that page. And so that, yay. And then when you click on that, you should be able to get into, so let me take us back to this page. And so congratulations on signing up for the Master Cleanse. Here it is, it's nearly 80 years old. What is the Master Cleanse? It's a liquid only regimen of 3 things: lemonade-like beverage, a saltwater drink, and a senna-based herbal tea to aid your body's natural elimination process. Many people in Hollywood have wrapped this and packaged it and sold it fresh delivery. One of the ones we saw was like, it was $300 a day kind of thing. And when you looked into it, it was just them delivering you this throughout the day.
Okay.
And so you take 2 tablespoons of maple syrup per 10-ounce glass for detox or weight loss. And the reason they say weight loss is they want to make sure that you get enough sugar in your body, the maple syrup. But the maple syrup, I really recommend to taste. When it was made 41 years ago, there wasn't enough sugar and raw components in our bodies we didn't have a lot of fat in us. And so that 2 tablespoons, the way that he recommended it, it was back in the day when sugar was not readily available. And so sugar to taste, maple syrup, a small amount will still detox you, do the weight loss. Minimum of 6 glasses of lemon per day, then a nightly cup of smooth moves tea, and then in the morning, salt water flush or plain water for a gentle flush. And this is recommended to be warm water, lukewarm, and organic ingredients and purified water. One of the gifts of doing the Master Cleanse is you can really open your pineal gland and your inner connection, your inner insights, your intuition. And then every time you get hungry, you drink another lemonade. You can have as many as you want for yourself. And you don't leave home without your lemonade. If you're leaving the house, you pre-mix it. Or when Greg went to the office, he would take the lemons and all of the ingredients with him. When for each of us, it's really, really important to have your food with you. And then make sure you take enough. Then we have every day at 10 a.m. Pacific. And again, this is our joy to take, Greg has, I guess, at least $200,000 worth of investment in marketing. And what does he want to do with that marketing? He wants to bring as many people to optimal health mastery. And for me, I've got all of the years of medical love and service. And what are we doing with that? We're gifting that forward. It's 10 days here with the Master Cleanse. We also have, for those that are committed on the journey, a backstage pass. How do we know they're committed? It's $97 to show that commitment. And then for them, we create a whole list of things. Later on, the program that we're developing, I work with a lot of doctors and a lot of people in positions that don't want to do group things, but they want to benefit from the experience, the group energy. To say all of that another way is what we're putting together will be repackaged and sold to people that want to make the deepest level of commitment. I want to share this fun story. Yesterday and the day before, people started talking about psychics and whether psychics are right or psychics are wrong, or the psychic energy. And what we do is different from any other psychics. It's a level of commitment. You bring a level of commitment, and you meet us where we're at, and we meet you where we're at. In other words, you're paying everything you do forward. We're paying everything we do forward, and we're so grateful to be able to have invested all that we learned to be able to give this way. And those that we invested and developed. And so everyone gets to stand on and generate from each other's shoulders and give gifts forward. Baby, anything you want to add to that?
That was all wonderful, my love. Yeah, it's just, giving back.
Giving back. And
Yeah.
Noreen, any questions that you have? And did you get the link?
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. So we'll be in Facebook tomorrow. Correct, Greg, at 10 a.m.
Yes. We broadcast into that Facebook group starting at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. And for those that join the VIP experience, we'll have a Zoom experience with them. And anything else you want to add, baby?
Nope, that's it. We're going to be teaching, the Optimal Health Mastery every morning at 10 a.m. as part of the experience. And then for those who want kind of like a similar, like the Zoom meeting like this is kind of be our Backstage Pass experience. If you want, the live support and to ask questions and to get feedback and to, share in the group energy that we have like this.
And then we have guided meditations for each organs. The first day, what happens, and we'll share as much of that as we can in Optimal Health Mastery, and then you'll have the experience of it within the group. It's so deep what becomes available for you in group setting when you begin emptying yourself. So yay, happy new year. So beautiful. Baby, anything else? Safa, is there anything you want to add?
I have a question. So how does the 10 o'clock meeting differ from the evening Zoom? So the 10 o'clock is not a Zoom meeting?
It's not a Zoom meeting. No, we're just teaching into the group. Yep.
Yeah, and so we're so excited for you guys to join us there and to see you there. And I know you, is your daughter back in school?
We're still homeschooling.
So I know. What I mean by homeschooling is, does she go on, like Tyler is homeschooled, but he has a community he meets with online.
Oh, she starts back January 11th.
January. Oh, good. So you have some time.
Yeah, we do.
Then.
And she was just eating dinner, and she's like, I want to do it. I want to do it. So we'll see. She's excited. I have a question about thyroid medication. I've never done a fast before. So do I need protein if I'm taking thyroid medication?
So Safa, for you, it's really great to get connected with your primary healthcare provider, right? The one that cares for you. And what I can share about you coming through is please take your medication. It's really, your body is announcing when you're not on it or the levels aren't accurate for you. It really affects the mind, body, spirit. Thyroid works everywhere. And so it's really important for you to be on it during this time. And with, and I think the labeling with thyroid medication, it works whether you have protein in your body excessive or not. So that I want to say that another way. The way that the medicine dissolves and is absorbed is not dependent on food being in your system. Okay. But you have to run that by your provider and who works with you is my recommendation.
All right.
Awesome. Yay. Baby love, anything you want to add? And I think we can close it here. And yeah. Dr. Audrey, I really love working hard I do. I love the next level. It brings me joy. And so I want to just thank you for recognizing that we work hard and for seeing that. And so I wanted to thank you for that as well.
Oh, you're so welcome. I got maple syrup, grade A, 100%,
Yep.
and I also got molasses, original molasses.
Nice.
So I can try different ones. It's only a couple of tablespoons in the drink.
Yeah, you
So
can do
I'll
a
just-
tablespoon of maple syrup and a tablespoon of molasses. That was something that was recommended also.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll play with it. I'll play
Yeah.
with it and see which is the best.
Yeah, there you go. Your body will let you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm excited.
yay. Awesome.
Woohoo.
Awesome. Yay. Oh my gosh. And so tomorrow bring journals, right? And things to take notes with on the Facebook group. And Greg, thank you so much for setting that up. We're so excited. Thank you guys for making it tonight. How awesome is this? Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you. This was wonderful. Thank you so much. It was good seeing you guys.
Good
Seeing you
seeing
too,
you.
Salva.
Yay. Bye for now.
All right. Have a good
Bye.
night. Bye.
Yep.
Hey, good night.
Good luck in the morning. Yep. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.